Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in today's episode of The Hypnotist, you'll be listening to a hypnosis session that was created for a very successful lady that was very high up in a competitive environment. She'd done very well to get her career to the level that she was getting to, but she found that when she was in certain situations where there was the possibility of being evaluated by other people, she would then get in an unresourceful state, and that would affect her ability to be eloquent, confident, articulate. She had a very big vocabulary, but she wouldn't necessarily tap into the words that she needed at the right time. And in the work prior to the hypnosis, what was evident, and almost a bit of a surprise to her, was that as successful as she was, there was still a fear of how other people might judge her, might evaluate her, might perceive her, particularly in regards to her creativity, her eloquence, and things like that. In this particular session, what we did is we tapped into how she felt when she wasn't in that unresourceful state. And she highlighted that she felt this kind of resourceful feeling in her chest. We gave it a color as a mnemonic so she could better access that particular feeling, and that color was orange. So in this particular session, there's two key things that we're doing here. One is removing an old belief system that she wasn't good enough. And a lot of people have this belief system. And the problem with the belief of not being good enough is that it's an incomplete sentence. It's an incomplete belief. It's a generalization because it doesn't say what you're not good enough to do, if that makes sense. It doesn't finish the sentence. So having a belief of not being good enough, we know it's disempowering because it makes people feel unworthy and unresourceful. So it was tackling that particular element. And when you don't feel that you're good enough, you're constantly seeking approval, validation, and kind of particularly external validation from other people because it satisfies that kind of need. But it does leave you vulnerable and exposed and gives a lot of power away to other people that might be critical. So generally, those people that are very sensitive to criticism and rejection at some level don't really believe that they are worthy or good enough. So one, we had to tackle that element. And the second was to access this highly resourceful state so that when she was in the right context, that she wanted to be eloquent and articulate, she could get into that state more easily than she had been in the past. And it really came from defending herself against this kind of fear of criticism or negative approval. This hypnosis session, I think, will be useful for anyone that can resonate with being judged harshly by other people, particularly if you start thinking that other people are going to judge you harshly. Obviously, this was created for someone else. So if you're listening to this and think, well, it's useful, but I can't quite relate to some of the context, then there will be a link nearby where you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation call with me, and then we can explore what it would be like to actually kind of figure out your patterns to feel unworthy or not good enough and a fear of judgment, and then work on those. But it's still worth listening to this just in case this helps you, and then you don't need to work with me directly. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in a feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, allow feelings of tension or worry to leave your body. On the next breath, breathe in a deeper breath than normal. And when you exhale, completely relax all the muscles around your eyes, your eyelids, and allow your eyes to completely close. And in doing so, allow more of your attention to be focused on my words and your breathing. And as you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to get a sense of feeling deeper and deeper, relaxed. That's right. As you continue to breathe in and breathe out, I want you to breathe in a feeling of resourcefulness. That as you breathe in, I want you to imagine breathing in a bright orange color. As you breathe in that orange color, feel it going into your lungs and starting to glow there in your chest. As you exhale, I want you to notice that a darker color is leaving your body, and this darkness represents any feelings of worry, stress, anxiety, or tension leaving your body in your outward breath. That's right, deeper and deeper, relaxed. I want you to tap into the power of your own memory, and I want you to recall a time where you were doing a speech where you had to think on your feet. I want you to climb inside that version of you and connect with that feeling of resourcefulness. You knew what you wanted to say, and you delivered it in the way that you wanted to, in an eloquent, articulate, confident way. And I want you to get a sense that when you're in this resourceful state, this is just how you communicate. Confidently, articulately, eloquently. Feel a glowing orange sensation there in your chest that represents this resourceful feeling. And notice that when you're in this state, anyone's opinion of you doesn't matter, because you know your competency, your experience, your knowledge, and your intention. And from the place of you knowing you, there is no anxiety, only resourcefulness. And I want you to now think back to the challenges that you had on the road from where you started in your career all the way to the present. All the times you were doubted, all the times you were challenged, all the times that people thought little of you and yet you exceeded their expectations. And I want you to get a sense that for a while, and on several occasions throughout your past, you had a belief that you weren't enough as you were, which made you highly resourceful. You worked harder. You learned more. You had to put more effort in than other people. And as a result of all those things, your confidence increased, your competency increased, your self-belief increased. And it increased so much that there was only a feeling of fear of evaluation from a very small number of people. Those people that perhaps you knew were judgmental about other people or had the ability to compare you to the very best in your industry. And I want you to get a sense that there was a benefit to that. That benefit was that it made you want to increase your standards. It made you want to be validated and impress those people that had the benefit of being able to see other people at your level, perhaps in different organizations or different times. And I want you to get a sense that all of this is built on a foundation of a fear that people will find out that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve to be there. hand, sometimes people are fearful of things that aren't valid. I want you to get a sense of just the kind of things that people are afraid of. Some people are afraid of insects or animals that can't really cause them harm. Some people are afraid of the ocean and deep water. Other people, heights or public speaking. There are many different fears that people have, and these fears aren't logical, they're emotional. They represent a symbol of what we don't want to happen. This fear that people will find out that you're not worthy comes from a fear. Comes from a fear that everything you've worked for could be lost at some level. And that's why it matters so much. And that same fear helped you in your past to get to where you've got to. And it's time to let go of that belief. Hold on to that desire to continue to raise standards. Hold on to that resourceful feeling of wanting to be the best and do the best, but let go of the need to be validated. You don't need to worry about evaluation of other people to the level that you did when you started. You've been able to grow in your career. You've been able to develop a new belief system. A belief system that everything that you've got, you've deserved. You encountered so much resistance, so many barriers, and yet you're still where you are, which means not only do you deserve this and you've earned this, but also that you no longer need the validation of others. From this point onwards, it's nice to be complimented, it's nice to be liked, it's nice to be respected, but you don't need that anymore. And the energy changes when you no longer need something. The power is within you. And for a long while, you've been handing that power to other people that didn't even realize that you'd given them that power. And now it's time to take it back. And that's what that orange glow there in your chest is. It's you taking the power back to be articulate, eloquent, confident. Not because you have to be and not because you need to be, just because you are that way now. And I want you to imagine events in the future where those people that you used to worry about their opinion, you now are accessing a new belief system. That you are competent, confident, articulate and eloquent. And I want you to see yourself in situations that used to cause anxiety and a lack of resourcefulness, and now see yourself in the future doing things the way that you've always wanted to do things. Seeing yourself in flow, seeing yourself eloquent. Your unconscious mind already knows the words. Your vocabulary is already there. And from this point onwards, just by putting your hand on your chest and feeling that orange glow, reminding yourself that you deserve to be where you are. And any evaluation from other people tells you more about them than it does you. You now have a suit of armor, an invisible force field, which protects you from any opinions of other people. It's been said many times, lions don't care about the opinions of sheep. And from this point forwards, you like to hear nice things from other people, but you don't need it anymore. All you need to do is to think back to your successes, your career, your achievements, what you've learned and what you've had to go through to remind yourself that you deserve everything that you have. That makes you feel resourceful, and when you're resourceful, you're eloquent. And by letting go of the need to be liked and respected by other people, will now, from this point forward, make you more eloquent, more articulate, and more confident. And see that future version of you delivering and communicating in the way that you knew you could, but now doing it in all different contexts. And if your unconscious mind is now convinced that you have that ability to let go of the past and step into this future version of you where you no longer need the approval, the respect, the validation of others, because you know it exists within you already. You've paid the price. You've earned your stripes. And from this point forward, you no longer need it from other people. That spring of validation comes from within you. And therefore you no longer need it from other people. That inner dialogue that used to worry will now remind you as to how confident and eloquent you are. The movies you make in your mind won't be of other people talking badly about you. It will be of you becoming more and more significant and influential in your future. That's what you're stepping into. Fears are like monsters under the bed of a child. They only exist there unless you look at them. And when you look for them, they disappear. These fears are just monsters under a bed. And from this point forward, you've switched the light on. You've looked under the bed and realized that they weren't there. Because your validation, your confidence comes from within you. And now I want you to imagine going back into your body firmly in the present, taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, get a sense that you're in your own physical body right now, as very soon I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling highly resourceful, positive, confident, with a new belief system that everything you have, you deserve, and the only validation you need is already within you just by remembering what you've already done. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.